Hello, welcome to OJ Studios. Please enjoy this week's chapter of Punishment 2, Return of Amanda, by Olivia Julius. I had fallen asleep on the way to Brittany's house. I was only awakened when Dad slammed on the brakes to avoid a deer that had jumped in front of the car. I could hear Dad sound the car's horn as he slowed dramatically down. I went from fully asleep to awake and alert in a nanosecond as the deer and the car got closer together. I was glad that I was seat belted in, or else I would be in the front seat with Mom and Dad by now. Unfortunately, the McDonald's cups and wrappers that at one point had held my breakfast were not so lucky. My heart raced as I watched the deer dart off the road and into the woods. Luckily Dad has fast reflexes, so we missed the deer, but it was still a close call. "Oh, good, you're finally awake," Dad said, looking at me through the rearview mirror. It was comical how he sounded like he wasn't fazed by what had just happened. "How much longer till we get there?" I asked, my heart still beating 1,000 beats per minute. "We're almost there," Dad said. I sighed a little and looked outside. The sun was already up, and we were traveling on a small 2-lane road. On both sides of the road there were woods. This was always the point of the trip where I knew that we were getting close to Aunt Georgia's house, and now I know that we are close to Brittany's. I looked down at my phone and saw all the text messages Brittany had sent me. Most of them were asking how far we were and if we were indeed really coming today. I quickly texted her back that I was awake, and instantly she texted me back. "OMG! I can't believe that you are coming today!" Followed by the message, "Please tell me you're close. I am literally trying to contain my excitement." I giggled a little at the text messages and looked out the window as we slowed down to enter Brittany's small town. I decided not to text her back. The thought of Brittany jumping up and down in the anticipation had stopped me. I looked at the clock on the car's dashboard and saw it was 9 in the morning. For us that is a new record. Usually, we would have stopped a few times for breaks and to eat, but this time, since Brittany and her mom was wanting us up here so early, Dad decided that we should just drive all the way through. I looked out the window as we drove by some small mom and pop shops. This place is the opposite of Indianapolis. My phone continued to buzz as messages from Brittany poured in. I watched as they came in but didn't answer them. I figured Brittany could stand a little bit of anticipation and worry for a few minutes. Dad turned off the main road and I looked over at the GPS and saw that we were only a half-mile away from Brittany's house. "Okay, she's waited long enough," I thought as I grabbed my phone and told it to dial Brittany's number. The phone only rang once, and the sound that came from the other end was so loud that Dad could hear Brittany over the phone without the speaker on. "Where are you?" Brittany asked, both yelling and screaming out of pure excitement. "Oh, you didn't get my message?" I asked. "We decided to spend Easter in Indianapolis." There was a pause on the other end of the phone. Dad slowed the car down in anticipation of the storm, because we were in fact inside the calm before the storm that is named Brittany. "You what?" Brittany asked strangely calmly. I breathed a little, thinking she would stay calm. "Oh no, was I wrong? You better not have. Amanda, I will personally come over to your house and drag you over here," Brittany said, ramping back up to Hurricane Brittany levels. Mom tried to stifle her laugh. Dad pulled the car in front of Brittany's house, and I motioned to Mom and Dad to stay quiet. "Well, Brittany, if I was coming to your house, I would be at your house by now, wouldn't I?" I asked. Almost instantly I saw a curtain move in one of the windows. For a flash I thought I saw the blur of Brittany's face before she disappeared. The only proof that she was there was the curtain swinging a little as it fell back into place. The call disconnected as the front door opened and Brittany darted outside running as fast as she could. "Well, she's happy to see you," Mom said as she watched Brittany run through her front yard and practically run right into our car. A split second before Brittany got to our car, Dad locked the doors and poor Brittany found herself trying to open a door that couldn't be opened. "You're mean," I said to Dad before opening the door and getting out to the delight of Brittany. Brittany wrapped her arms around me and hugged me as tight as she could. I put my hands around her and hugged her back. I allowed us to remain like this for a little bit. Never in my life have I ever been missed like this. "I missed you, Amanda," Brittany said. "I missed you too," I repeated. I then looked up to see my mom and dad getting out of the car, as Brittany's mom Abby walked from the house. I let go of Brittany and she did the same to me. Her face was absolutely glowing with excitement. "I can't wait to show you my room, and introduce you to all my friends and..." "Brittany," Abby said, calming her daughter down a little. "How about if you help Amanda get her bags inside first?" "Okay," Brittany said before grabbing one of my suitcases and taking it inside. I looked over to the duffel bag, my second suitcase. I wasn't going to bring it originally, but since Brittany is forcing me to be Amanda for her birthday, I brought the duffel bag so I could have boy clothes for the rest of the weekend. "Hyper little one, isn't she?" Dad said, watching her run with my suitcase inside her house. "Yeah, she's been up since 5 waiting for you all to come," Abby said. Then she turned to me, "She's excited you came to her birthday party. You are all she's talked about for the past few days." I looked back over to the house and smiled a little. No one has ever wanted to be around me as much as Brittany wants to. It's made me happy and somewhat nervous, like what if I don't live up to the hype that she is expecting? "Are you sure you're okay with Amanda spending the night since she's, you know, really a boy?" Abby said, finishing Dad. "Don't worry, Amanda is more than welcome here anytime." I let out a deep breath when I heard Abby say that. I wasn't sure that Abby knew that I am really Adam or not, and I am glad that she was accepting of that fact. "Look," Abby said, bending down to be at my level. "No one else knows you're really Adam, so don't worry, just have fun, and enjoy yourself." I nodded my head and smiled. Suddenly Brittany came back to my side. She grabbed my duffel bag in my hand and pulled me inside the house. "Bye Mom, bye Dad," I yelled out as we left them behind. "I hope we get to see you again," Dad yelled back before Brittany shut the front door. Once we were inside the house, Brittany, now a bit slower, took me upstairs. There was only a door at the top of the staircase. I looked over at Brittany in question of why we were coming up here. Brittany just smiled and then opened the door. She let me inside first before she followed me. I stepped inside and then froze. Brittany's room was the attic. The fully renovated attic was made into her room. The white walls went up about halfway and they sloped in, matching the roof's pitch. 2 skylights peered down into the room on either wall/ceiling, letting light in. One was over Brittany's bed, presumably so she could see the stars at night. The other one was over a desk. Brittany's room is large. In comparison, my room is about half the size of hers. It was divided up into 2 spaces. The first space as you walk in is her bed area. A large queen-size bed is on one wall and a pink comforter is laid neatly on the top of the fully made bed. Directly across from the bed is her dresser, and desk. A computer monitor is on top of the desk and in front of it is a pink keyboard and mouse. On either side of the monitor sat 2 pink speakers. A pink computer chair is tucked under the desk. On the dresser sat a vase of fake flowers and the runners-up sash that Brittany got from the Easter Princess contest last year. Also on the dresser is 2 photos, one of them is a group of girls wearing ballet stuff standing on a stage, the other one is of Brittany and I during last year's Spring Princess contest. The back part of her room was slightly larger than the front part and is separated by a row of bookcases. While the front half of the room has hardwood floors, the back half has carpeting. There is a couch with a pink blanket folded over the top of it and 2 pink throw pillows. A large TV sat on a coffee table. I looked at Brittany in disbelief. There was no way my room could even come close to looking as cool as hers was. I tried to think back to the past year if she had ever shown me her room before, but I couldn't remember. "I know it's tiny," Brittany said, setting the duffel bag by my other suitcase. Mom made this room for me so I can relax and play while she works. It's amazing! I said, and then without thinking I said, it's the most girly girl room I have ever seen. Brittany laughed a little bit. But it was the truth, the only ever girl room I have seen is Gracie's room, and this doesn't even come close. Speaking of girly, want to see your surprise? Brittany asked, jumping up. She ran to her closet at the back of her room, and I could see that I was a large walk-in closet. She turned the light on and walked past racks of clothes on either side. I dared not to enter her closet. I felt like I would need specialized equipment and a map before I could journey in there. Brittany looked back at me and rolled her eyes. She walked back out of her closet and then grabbed me by the arm. "Oh, come on, you won't get lost!" she said, pulling me in. We walked about halfway inside before we came to a section of pink ballet costumes and frilly skirts. Brittany took one down and showed me it. "These are my ballet leotards, and these are my tutus," she said almost proudly. "Ballet is my most favorite thing in the world." "Cool!" I said, looking at the leotards. I wondered what this had to do with my surprise. Brittany got onto her knees where a small 3-drawer dresser sat. She opened it, and inside was some folded up pairs of white tights and a strange type of shoes. She then paused and found a box and handed it to me. "This is for you, Amanda," Brittany said, handing it to me. We both walked out of the closet and sat down on the couch. I took the box and slowly opened it. Inside, all I could see was pink fabric.